Tell people what bottom surgery means. Is that the correct terminology?
Yeah.
You are getting gender reassignment surgery.
Gender reassignment surgery is mainly for trans women, trans men who feel the opposite sex.
I'm going to be talking with you leading up to the days of your surgery.
This is a very serious procedure and you cannot do it alone.
Are you afraid at all?
A lot of people were telling me not to go to her. Like, look, do not botch me.
Tell me right now, like, how are you feeling?
They hooked me up to the anesthesia, completely fell off, like it was just a hole down there.
What's the first thing that ran through your mind before you hit the operating table?
Am I making a big mistake?
Hey, what's up everybody? This is your boy Ephraim Adamz. Welcome to the channel. If you've never been here before, I just want to give you a warning that we like to keep all things positive, good energy. It's a new year. We're here, we're queer, and we're rocking here to stay. Right?
Of course.
Hey, what's up? This your boy Ephraim Adamz. We're about to get real crazy up in this place.
One of my many good friends, Ciara. We're going to be talking about some important topics today within the transgender community. I'm here to learn myself as well as share this information with the world. So I'm so honored to have Ciara here with me to give me all the tea, all the scoop,
Of course.
and some of the most important details that we can all kind of gain knowledge from. Okay. So tell the folks where you're from, child.
I'm originally from Valley, Alabama. It's outside of Auburn, Opelika, Tuskegee, Montgomery area. Birmingham, y'all may be familiar with that. And I grew up in Atlanta a little bit.
I was at Alabama recently and how it still has that old time feel from the civil rights era, especially dealing with the lynchings and the Rosa Parks movement where she protested to keep her seat on the bus. There's a lot of good museums there and tributes.
Yeah.
That just has to do with black people and slavery and knowing our history here in the state. So I highly recommend that anyone goes and really get a feel for our history. When did you realize that you were different or that something about you was different?
Came from a very big family. All the grandkids and cousins were together. I remember one morning, it was like a big old pallet on the floor. It was like 30 of us in one house. Bills vs. Bills came out by Destiny Child. And I said I was Beyonce.
And you said that you were Beyonce?
Yes, I said I was Beyonce of the group. And my family was like, no, you're a boy, don't say that, blase. So I kind of figured then, like, I was different because I always felt like a girl.
Okay. So you're telling me you used to role play as one of the Destiny's Child members?
I did. Beyonce.
And pretend to be Beyonce. So
Of
you knew that
course.
there was something that drew you to that kind of infatuation.
And playing with Barbie dolls and stuff. Like sneaking away. Like grabbing my cousin's Barbie dolls and like going all the way down the road and like going in the woods and just sitting there and braiding it.
Gotcha. Interesting. You said that you would go all the way into the woods and play with the Barbie dolls?
Yes, like I would go down the road, like I would sneak away, go down the road, and like go into like the wood area, like right by the road, and just sit by the tree and braid it.
Did you feel like you needed to be alone to do that?
Yes, because it was too many people in the house.
That sounds kind of like you were looking for a safe space to be yourself.
Right, and I would literally sneak their Barbie dolls and sneak away.
Nah, I was never like that. I am an out gay male, but I used to go into my mom's closet and try on her heels.
Yeah.
You know, obviously I'm not trans, but that was just something prone me to the femininity of it, you know. So it's interesting as a kid because people say that you don't really know your orientation or your identity, but I think children do know their identity, they just don't know how to express it outwardly. I think we have to do a lot of more research with children, especially psychologists, scientists, and things like that, because when you kind of suppress your kids, I don't think people in our families know how much that they can be hurting us, you know, and just putting our spirit down. So I'm glad that you shared that. What did you think at that time? Did you think, well, maybe I'm just gay, or did you?
No, I always felt like a girl, like deep down inside, like I knew I was a girl. Like nothing is masculine about me whatsoever. Like I knew I was a girl. It's just, it was only a matter of time until I started transitioning. So, but like I would in and out do little things when my grandmother wasn't around and stuff. Like I would play in her heels or play in her clothes or go grab her foundation because we were the same color and like put it on my skin.
I know,
like
that's
that.
right. What was your family's response to that, though? Did they ever find
My
out?
family is very by the Bible, like very, let's go to church on Sundays. Everybody wake up, we're going to meet at church, and then we're going to Longhorn and stuff like that. They weren't accepting of me. It was always, you're a FAG, SSSY, you're going to hell, stuff like that.
Right. And I mean, it's like that a lot of times with religion in the past.
Yeah.
And we're very lucky that it's starting to get better. It's not where it should be, but it is starting to get better. When did you decide to tell your family, or did you seek out friends first, or did you keep it a secret? Or
the end of my 8th grade year, I came out at first and told my grandmother I was like bisexual at first, just to see what she was gonna say, knowing that I'm gay.
So you did the thing where we tell people that we're bisexual first,
right?
Just to see how they cope with it.
Right.
A lot of us do say that we are bisexual as a form of trying to ease other people into our coming out process.
Right.
However, at the same time, I don't want to ignore the fact that bisexuals do exist.
They do.
In the LGBTQ spectrum, the B is always the part that's kind of like, no one really like takes it seriously.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I feel like we have a lot of more bisexuals out there.
We do.
Than what we like to acknowledge, because, you know, you're who you love, what you're attracted to, your sexual orientation, all of that is fluid. So you could be the straightest of straights or the gayest of gays or whatever, but there's always going to be that person that is kind of like at a different place on the spectrum than you are. You know what I mean? So I feel like shout outs to bisexuals and all of you that are who are authentic in who you are, because in some ways, us pretending like we're bisexuals are doing them a disservice.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know?
That is.
You know? But I can't fault those who do that to a certain degree out of the fear of how society treats us.
Right.
It's kind of like this double-edged sword thing. So I just wanted to take a minute and talk about that.
Right.
So how did they accept you when you said that you're only a little bit gay, you're not fully trans, or you're not fully
like she was like, like my grandmother is very religious. So it was like, oh no, grabbing her Bible and trying to put holy oil on my head and like all kind of stuff. And like my aunt, I remember her like laughing and busting out like, you know, trying to make it a joke and stuff like that. And I would never forget like the word got around very quickly. Like as soon as I got to school the next day, like a girl came up to me. She was like, my grandmother said that your grandma said you're bisexual. Lord. And I'm like, how did you even
That's
know?
Alabama, child. It's a small town.
Right. So.
Oh, my goodness. Also, I want to go back real quick and just apologize because I keep saying gay.
Right.
And even for me, like I've been doing work in the community for so long, I still have a habit of just going straight to gay when you're trans, and there's a difference between that. You know what I mean? So it's so hard to kind of like unwind the conditioning that we've been put under by society, and getting out of this framework of that being anywhere in the spectrum means you're gay. No, you are a trans woman, you identify as a woman, and that is who you are on the inside, and that is who you're expressing on the outside physically. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I do want to apologize to that, to any trans women that are watching. Once you told your family and some of your friends found out, did you experience bullying? Were some people okay with it?
Of course, like, I remember, like, teachers, like, picking at me for no apparent reason. I remember one teacher told me to quit acting like a sissy, like, all kind of stuff. Why do you have on lip gloss? You're a boy. You're not supposed to be wearing lip gloss. I had, like, a really rough time in high school. I wouldn't necessarily say junior high. But in high school, I caught hell. I started to, like, wear hair and stuff. And, like, when I would walk down the halls, like, you, F-A-G, hell no, that's a S-I-S-S-Y, like, just being really mean and being a bully for no reason. But like, I never paid attention to stuff like that. As long as you don't put your hands on me. So.
See, that's why it's so important to like educate our children.
Right.
Because there is no reason for a child to go to school and act like that. Children do act like that is because they're either not educated, which is almost 100% of the time. I'm talking like I got kids. But as parents, you feel like your kids are not mature enough to handle certain things, and I don't think that's true. I think at 13 you can talk to your child about what's a trans woman, what's a trans man, what is the different orientations, what are the different ways of practicing safe sex. You can discuss those things at 13, but we're so interested in coddling our kids or, you know what I mean, or trying to protect them when really we're doing our kids a disservice too.
Right.
I'm sorry that you had to go through that.
Yes, because I'm an old bangy thing, child, old hood girl thing. So I remember, I had a green and
What
black.
does a bangy thing mean?
It's like bangy, like she's real hood.
Oh, bangy.
Like, well, down south, certain people say bangy instead of bangy, so. Like, she's real hood, like, okay, she's ghetto.
Okay.
She's fabulous,
Gotcha.
but she's not a glamorous girl, she's more from the hood, so.
She's street.
Street.
Rougher around the edges. No.
You think I'm rougher around the edges?
No, I'm asking you the question. I don't think anything.
I mean, I would say, yeah, you can say that.
She
like,
the hood
she
girl
don't,
from
she
around
don't
the
take no
way.
mess. Like, girl, you try it with her, girl, she's gonna gather you.
LL Cool J has a song called Around the Way Girl. So something kind of like that.
Something like that. Something like that.
I'm a DJ, so I relate to music. But
Right.
speaking of words, that brings up such a deep topic for me.
Right.
How do you feel about the word tranny? What does that mean to you specifically? And then what do you think it used to mean back in the day?
This is Lorraine, and I'm twerking with the gays. This for the girls, this for the gays, this for the bottoms, twerk every day. Make that coin, make that cash, make that money, shaking that ass. Queens in the club, rock those panties, back up on them like you a tranny. Boys so cute, boys uncut. Go down on him, finger up the butt. Twerk, bitch, twerk.
You a bottom.
Twerk, bitch, work.
You a bottom.
She, her, Miss, Ciara are my pronouns. But back in the day, I felt like that was their way of embracing who they were. Like, certain trans women back in the day would love being called a tranny.
Right.
But now that we have so many labels and the world is changing and evolving.
When I grew up in the community, in the gay community, and I first came out, which was in about, I guess, the year 2013,
Okay.
I was around other black queer people of color. So the word tranny, the word itself was being used in the black gay community at that time. And there were some gay bars like the Tranny Shack from the 80s and the 70s and the Stonewall era.
Right.
And that was the terminology that they used. But I feel like once white gays who kind of appropriated black culture, it became a questionable word.
Right.
And then once it definitely hit the mainstream in the public, that's when it became like a word for abuse. It's like that with a lot of words. Like dyke was definitely a black lesbian word though.
Yes.
Stud was definitely a black lesbian word.
Right.
But I feel like once the greater gay community got a hold of it and then the straight world got a hold of it, a lot of those words kind of are turned and used against us.
This is bullshit. I need a drink. I need a blunt. It's time to get fucked up. Where my dykes at? Where my drag queens? All you gay boys, come and get with me. Where my trannies at? Where my femme queens? Cause you a bad bitch. You give them heart attacks. They wanna call us faggots. We'll give them faggots. Make them suck your dick. Let them haters have it.
He was going, oh my God.
Okay.
This better read.
She read the girl.
Welcome back.
Come
We
to
were just
Deborah.
taking a little break, child, to kiki for a minute.
Okay.
Tell them what a kiki is, cuz.
A kiki is something when you're being a mess or you want to laugh. One of the two. Me, a kiki is, oh girl, that's the key.
Oh.
Or she's being a mess, girl, that's the key.
Well, what I grew up on is always just hanging out, socializing, a party. But a kiki is when you're being a mess or you want to laugh. One of the two. Me, a kiki is always girl, that's the key. Or she's being a mess, girl, that's the key. And well, what I grew up on is always just hanging out, socializing, a party. But a kiki is when you're being a mess or you want to laugh. One of the two. Me, a kiki is always girl, that's the key. Or she's being a mess, girl, that's the key. And well, what I grew up on is always just hanging out, socializing, a party. And
Really?
the very, very basics. Cracking jokes, throwing shade, friendly shade.
It's so many
Kiki.
levels of Kiki.
Gossiping, girls' night out, in the bathroom, with the little go-go dancer doing the coke, and the little glory hose in the back, and the little Becky bent over in some stall, child. Ooh, it's a Kiki in there.
And speaking of little Becky being bent over in the bathroom,
That's a
honey.
different type of sad.
I was at Club 708 in Atlanta.
Can we talk? I mean, DJ life before the pandemic. The girls will never know.
And it was a white
that's a
girl.
different film.
Against,
That's what she needs to do right there.
Oh, I was very professional, not me. I'm just
we should do a
saying
Hartford is burning.
the things I've seen. What?
We should do a Hartford is burning.
Oh, Hartford
Harrison-
is burning.
We should do a Hartford is burning.
No, it's been done already.
It really?
We're creating our own right now. Right. We're creating our own.
Right.
No, we be our own icons. I lived for Paris is Burning though. That film.
You know, I did not live.
You didn't live for it?
I did not live.
Well,
I
the
did
people, a lot of the people in it didn't live for it at the time either.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the? It wasn't the second Paris is Burning, but it was like kind of the girls who wasn't in it was like, you know, and let me tell you why I wasn't in it. Because first of all, it was like done and directed by a white woman for the most part and all that. They go off. You gotta look it up.
Okay.
There's shade there.
Okay.
Mind you, it's history
See, they
and
should do
iconic and legendary.
the behind the scenes,
but
the
it's-
real Paris is Burning type of thing. Hmm. I mean, I'm sure there is. You
It's
know.
still historic and all of that, but it's like there's other stories of what.
Well, they have a new one called Kiki.
I don't know.
Is it called Kiki? Kiki Scene, something like that. It's called Kiki Scene. I don't know. It came out in 2016. I'll look it up so that you guys can have the correct title and put it on the screen, child. But it's cute. Came out right after they announced the ruling for marriage equality
Okay.
in the United States. How the wings. I know they're good. I love me some chicken wings, child. I don't care what type of stereotype, what type of racism, what type of kikis and jokes folks want to tell. You give me some chicken wings, I will destroy them things, child. Throw the shade all you want. But you better not, because I will come for you.
Okay. Oh, this is recording. Are they watching me eat?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna. I'll make it cute.
Oh, God. You should put that part in when I say watching me eat.
Because I'm gonna eat that.
Oh shoot, we'll get the food reviews going, child.
Oh, you know.
You know, what kind of popcorn is this?
Smart food.
This the second time?
Yeah, I know. I was just about to say. I'm gonna have you.
I live for This video was brought to you by Lion's Passion and sponsored by Lion's Passion.
You know what I was just talking to my
All
uncle.
these snacks
I need to put it in there.
and
That's what I'm saying.
you see us doing the most. All these snacks, scenery was put together by Lion's Passion. I'm gonna put the B-roll of all the different handbags that the CEO creates. They are fierce, child. So make sure you hit up the Instagram page. I'm gonna send you guys the link. Oh yeah, we get it in from Hartford, Connecticut. So order those bags. Can't thank him enough for having us here on this beautiful set design. It's gonna be our new home, at least for the next week. Tell people what bottom surgery means. Is that the correct terminology?
Yeah.
You are getting gender reassignment surgery.
Gender reassignment surgery is mainly for trans women, trans men who feel the opposite sex.
I'm going to be talking with you leading up to the days of your surgery.
This is a very serious procedure and you cannot do it alone.
Are you afraid of it at all?
A lot of people were telling me not to go to her. Like, look, do not botch me.
Tell me right now, like, how are you feeling?
They hooked me up to the anesthesia, completely fell off. Like it was just a hole down there.
What's the first thing that ran through your mind before you hit the operating table?
Am I making a big mistake?
Explain to folks, well, I know how it works, but explain
Right.
to people how queer families work. Having a drag mom, having
Right.
a trans mom,
Right.
having a gay house father,
Right.
if you're in the ballroom scene.
Right. Okay, so trans mom is someone who sees this for you and she wants to take you in and help you and develop your continence and make you and make you into a woman and
develop your womanhood.
Develop your womanhood, basically.
Your kindness.
and you know, help you, give you tips on
Make you fierce, make you fabulous.
make you real fish, you know. So
make you fishy. They don't know what that stuff means.
I mean,
tell the youth what that means.
fish, me, real cunt. Me, cunt is she looks over, like she looks like a real girl.
Ladylike.
Real ladylike, real
polish.
Real polish.
Okay, right. you know, they don't know. But go ahead. Yeah.
So she took me in. I think it was during Hurricane Irma, whatever.
Oh, Hurricane Irma, something like that.
Whatever her name is.
We'll look it up and put it at the bottom.
Right. She took me in around that time. I remember it was a lot of people from Florida coming in. I was escorting. I was getting my money, and she was like, I see it for you. You need a little guidance. You're not wearing a bra. You don't got your hair done. She was like, you're too pretty for that. Let me take you in, and let me show you the way. And I never really necessarily had a room of my own. So when I got to her house...
Why haven't you never had a room of your own?
I just never really had a room. Like, even when I lived with my grandmother, like, I was in the living room. Like, my aunt had a room. Like, she gave her the room. So,
this is in Alabama.
This is in Alabama.
Gotcha. I mean, you struggled on the come up.
Of course. So when I finally, mind you, I got kicked out at 14. So when I finally...
Pause. Who kicked you out?
My grandmother.
Your grandmother kicked you out?
When I told her I was bisexual.
Gotcha.
And mind you, like I told you, I came out in the end of my 8th grade year. I didn't even finish school.
And this is just you coming out as bisexual. This is
right.
not even the trans.
This is not even the trans part. So like, when I first came out or whatever, she kicked me out, and then somebody, I had to do what I had to do. They took me to Birmingham. They was like, I know somewhere where you can stay. I knocked on the door. She immediately opened up the door, and she was like, you can stay here. Like, immediately, like, I didn't know her from a can of wet paint. I guess he had texted her and was like, I'm on my way with someone.
And
whatever.
This is a trans woman that just saw you struggling?
No, she was a drag queen.
Oh, a drag queen.
And I stayed with her for a long time. Stayed with her for a long, long time. I finished school. When I finished school, I started transitioning and stuff. She fell sick and really ill, and she couldn't work and stuff like that. So I knew it was time to learn how to be on my own.
So you were kicked out of your home for 5 years?
Yeah.
Even though you became an adult, even though you became of age, but you were kicked out of your house.
That was like going on 9
9 years?
Like,
wow.
I did not go home or nothing. Like, no Christmas, no nothing. I lived with her.
So once you were kicked out, you were gone.
Oh, that was it. Was saying like, I'm not finna go back. Like, that's it. So, like, she helped me or whatever, finish school, all of that. This was the person. This is way before I met my trans mom. This was the
drag queen.
The drag queen that I stayed with.
Okay.
Her name, we called her Emma, Miss E, Lady E, whatever you want to call her. What's her name? That Jennifer Lewis. That's who she put you in the mind of.
Oh,
she's a trip. When I say she's a trip, she's a trip. So,
okay.
Got me into school or whatever the case may be. Finished school. Like I said, she fell sick. Her family started taking care of her. I started traveling the road. And then I finally, like I said, I met my trans mom during the Hurricane Irma, whatever that name was.
Before you get into your trans mom, have you seen your drag mother?
No, I think she passed away. I'm assuming that she passed away because I have not heard from her when I used to go to the club, because it was the club in Birmingham. If anyone watches this and who's been in Birmingham, they know Club 21 in Birmingham, Alabama is legendary. When I say legendary, I mean legendary.
Did she
She didn't
Is
do
it
any
okay
shows
if I ask what she passed away from?
If
what was she sick from?
If I'm not mistaken, I think she had full-blown AIDS. If I'm not mistaken.
Gotcha.
Because if I'm not mistaken, one day I seen a big bottle of pills on her table, and I read what it was, and I was like, okay.
But I mean, those of us from that period, that was a pandemic as what we're
Right.
seeing today, you know what I mean? And people kind of look down on that like it's some kind of
Right.
negative thing. When
It can happen
it's
to
really
anyone.
Not.
Straight,
Right.
bi, it does not matter. It can happen to anyone.
But I mean, just thinking back on the medication and the resources and the technology we
Back
have
in the
then,
day,
we didn't
right.
have it now. So,
Right.
gotcha. Yeah, that's disheartening. And people need to realize why a lot of our mentors are not here with us, and they all saw their friends and families die from that.
Right.
I think because we don't see that same thing all the time, at least not from sexually transmitted diseases in the same sense that they see it, we don't take it as seriously until, oh my God, it happens to us, or we get a test result or whatever, and then all of a sudden it's this, you know, tragic story, unfortunately. What was the difference with having a trans mother?
Having a difference with the trans mother, she would help me with my look.
Okay.
She would really get on to me and stuff. Like Miss Lady E, well, this is what we're gonna call her, Miss Lady E, she wouldn't really help me with my look and stuff. Like, I just stayed with her. I had got a little job and stuff, help.
Because she was more about helping you get back on your feet.
Just helping me get on my feet. But like, my trans mom was like a real mom. Like, this is what you need to do. I'm finna take you here and take you there. We finna go apply for food stamps. Get up out this bed. Like, she would literally, like, if I slept past like 8 o'clock in the morning, this is my trans mom. Her name's Kalani. She would literally pull the cover back. Get up. Time to get up. Go get in the mirror. Show you what I said. Right. And then I show you the tricks I showed you yesterday. I'm gonna go do it. I'm gonna be waiting in the car.
Let's go. A new day, drill sergeant. Right, I know that's right.
Right.
Shoot, I need a trans mother then.
Yeah.
Someone to keep you motivated and look out for you, you know.
But she was a shady old little thing.
Now, no. I'm sure, I'm not trying to be funny, but just from the girls that I know and been around, did she bring you into that whole world of the behind the scenes of the trans life and all those things?
What you mean behind the scenes? Speak.
Dating wise, how the men perceive trans women.
I mean, not necessarily, because she figured that I knew from escorting, because I escorted, like I said, I started like 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. It was like 4.5 years roughly. And then I started my hormones when I got around her.
So at what age did you start the hormones?
I started my hormones at 21, 22. One of those.
Ooh, that's young.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Do you consider that a blessing? Or like?
I mean, of course I consider it a blessing, because if I would have started like right now, I don't think I would have been as feminine as I am.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hormones things was, I had never seen anyone like, I didn't know about hormones. Well, I mean, I knew about them, but I was lucky enough to, as soon as I entered the community, deal with trans women first before anybody else. So one of my friends, she was taking hormones, and she took the hormones right in front of me with the injection.
And then she shot it right here.
In her butt?
Yeah,
or?
this one.
Okay,
I put them in my butt.
Okay, in her butt, the little injections. I'm not offending you, or
No.
okay, all right.
Of course not.
Yeah, she showed me how they pitted the needle in or whatever. And so the hormones, you take them every day?
Yeah, I take my estradiol and I take my spironolactone every day. Well, now I can't because of certain reasons. We're gonna get to that.
Right.
I don't want to.
Is there a hormone pill too, right? Okay, right. I had seen the pills as well or whatever. And they took me to Walgreens, child, me and the gays and the drag queens and the trans women and stuff, going to Walgreens.
Yeah.
And some of the girls who, I mean, this was 2013, 14 when I was coming out. So some of those girls, I think at the time it was kind of like hard to get hormones. And the girls would share hormones against each other, which I know is that you're not supposed to do.
You're not supposed to do that, but I do it for girls out here too. I have a cousin, another trans cousin in the family.
You said, but you do it, but you ain't supposed to.
You ain't supposed to do it. I send her hormones.
Tell me what would lead someone to share their hormones or ask you for hormones.
I mean, to share your hormones, it's just sisterhood. Like, girl, we know how it is. Even the doctors do not care. Like, they're trained to care, but most of them don't. They're just doing it for the check. So you feel, I wouldn't necessarily say you feel sorry, but you feel away. And so you want her to feel happy and complete like you do.
Right.
So you like, girl, I got you. Free of charge. I think, well, this me anyway, because I don't need to.
Oh, wait a minute. So some girls are out here charging to use their hormones? Oh, the shade of it all, child. No. Tell people what bottom surgery means. Is that the correct terminology?
Yeah.
You are getting gender reassignment surgery.
Gender reassignment surgery is mainly for trans women, trans men who feel the opposite sex.
So I'm going to be talking with you leading up to the days of your surgery.
This is a very serious procedure and you cannot do it alone.
Are you afraid at all?
A lot of people were telling me not to go to her. Like, look, do not botch me.
Tell me right now, like, how are you feeling?
They hooked me up to the anesthesia, completely fell off. Like it was just a hole down there.
What's the first thing that ran through your mind before you hit the operating table?
Am I making a big mistake?
What's preventing most girls from getting hormones? What is the process of you applying for that?
I would say the insurance and money-wise. Because hormones are not cheap. And then if you do have insurance or anything like that, they pay for them. So
The insurance company, right?
the insurance company will pay for hormones. Like,
So what kind of questions do they like ask you about applying for hormones?
what insurance to get? Who's the best insurance to go with?
I don't mean people asking you. I'm saying, what do the doctors and the insurance companies and stuff be asking you about? Why is it that you want to be on hormones?
Okay, well, first, I don't necessarily say it's the doctors that ask you because you go through a therapist first. And the therapist asks you the questions, and then they prescribe you
Oh, Lord.
the prescription for the hormones. And then the doctor okays it.
So the psychologist asks you about why is it that you want hormones and stuff. My only thing with that is we should be, I mean, I understand, but we should be past the point where all this stuff about our orientation is considered like some sort of mental illness and things like that.
Right.
And I just feel like that's kind of I mean, I get that they want to do the research,
Right.
but we're past the stage where sexual orientation is a mental illness.
And you know what? It's crazy about that. The guy that prescribed my hormones, he was basically saying it's a mental illness in so many words. And that's why I was like, okay, you're going to prescribe these hormones to me, and I'm not seeing you anymore. Like, I'm going to find me a whole new therapist because I don't have time for it.
That is so rude and
It
so
was
put
very
down.
rude, and it kind of was a put down to me. And like one day, like he almost made me cry, and he seen that, and he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you," stuff like that. And I'm like, "Okay." I was like,
I hate to bring race into the equation, but was this a white person?
Yes.
They saw a black trans
Yeah.
woman and did the most. That's just how I see it. I'm calling it how it is. Say what you want in the comments. I do not care. But that's just how people will treat, you know.
It is what it is.
That's how people treat you. That's terrible.
what
And
it
you're supposed
is.
to be a medical professional. That's the part that's killing me.
It
So
is
why
what it
would
is.
you? Even if that's how you feel, that's your personal belief or whatever.
Right.
Your job is to ask the questions and write down the answers.
Right.
Not all this other stuff that you're doing. So,
Right.
but okay. So when you do apply for the hormones, they give you a psychiatric evaluation.
Yeah.
That's what I'm calling it, a psychiatric
I went through 8
evaluation.
evaluations, like I think like one. I think it was like 8 or 9, 10. It was like we're just gonna say 10. I went through like 10 sessions, and then he finally prescribed me the hormones. And like, I don't really necessarily think he wanted to prescribe me the hormones, because I'll never forget. Like, he was like, "I don't really think you need the hormones, but I'm gonna prescribe you the hormones."
Bitch, give me my hormones.
Give me my hormones. Give me my hormones.
I went through y'all little training program. I saw who y'all wanted me to see.
Right.
Give me my hormones.
Give them to
Okay.
me. Yeah.
Lord. Tell people what bottom surgery means. Is that the correct terminology?
Yeah. GRS, SRS,
Which stands for what exactly?
gender reassignment surgery, SRS. I don't say SRS, I say GRS, gender reassignment surgery.
Gender reassignment surgery. And that technically means when you get your top done, does that count?
That's top surgery. They call it top surgery.
Top surgery
Breast done,
and bottom
yeah.
surgery.
Top
All right,
surgery.
for the gay lingo.
Right.
Okay. So, do you want to just go over the process? Because I don't know what it is. And I'm kind of like,
Okay.
I can get real cringy,
Mhm.
you know? So I really don't want to watch any videos on the process of it. Have you watched videos?
Don't want to.
And don't want to either. Okay.
I just
Okay.
want it
Gotcha.
done.
You just want it done. Gotcha.
Want it
gotcha.
done.
Come on and get you some more. 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 Work this pussy. 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 Work this pussy.
Gender reassignment surgery is mainly for trans women, trans men who feel the opposite sex, like they really have a bad case of gender dysphoria, like super bad, like even though they are transgender, but
And
they
gender
don't feel it.
dysphoria is when you see yourself identifying as one thing, but when you look down, it's different, and it affects your psyche.
Yeah, it does. It does.
I'm just making sure I got it right because I've only read up on it briefly, you know.
Right.
And they don't teach us this stuff at school. You have to literally go and do the research for yourself.
So January 13th, when I wake up from the anesthesia,
January
13th.
13th, you are getting gender reassignment surgery.
Surgery.
And today's date is
The 6th.
of January.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be talking with you leading up to the days of your surgery.
Okay, that's fine.
And just tell me right now, like, how are you feeling? Not so much dealing with other people or anything, just you in general. How are you feeling about the surgery coming up?
I don't really too much feel. I feel kind of excited, but then again, like,
Are you afraid of it at all?
no.
You're not afraid?
I'm not afraid whatsoever because it's going to be done. So, what to be afraid for if I'm going to get it done? I mean, I'm just ready for it to be done. Like, I'm tired of looking down there and I don't see what I want. So,
Right, so this is definitely for you. And
this
your
is definitely
happiness
for me.
and
Like,
for
I
no one else.
truly, because I know certain girls get the surgery and regret. No, it's not the case with me. I truly, really want it.
Were there any trans women that
It's one girl.
inspired you?
Yes, her name is Victoria Lynn. You can find her on YouTube. It's spelled Victoria, spelled the same way. Lynn, Lynn. She's a tall, brown-skinned girl, and she went through GRS, gender reassignment surgery, and she went to the doctor that I'm going to, Dr. Rumor in Pennsylvania, and she was very, very detailed with it, and she was very
So you're going all the way
straight to the point with everything.
Pennsylvania for the surgery? Even though,
Admore, Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Like 6-7 hours away.
Gotcha. That's right. So we want to hear about all the tea and how things progress because if any problems go down, we are coming for you, doctor. What's his name?
Her name is Dr. Rumor.
All right. We're going to let the girls know all the reviews, child. So
Right.
don't try it.
Don't even try it. It better be realistic.
Got you. Do you feel like, is it okay if I ask you about the
Of
call that you
course.
just received on the phone?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you feel like some men that are interested in trans women are disappointed by the fact that you're going to get this surgery?
Yes.
And that could be the reason as to why they may not support you in the way that you want.
Yes.
Because I know for a lot of cis or straight men or men that are into trans women or however they want to identify themselves, the attraction for them is to be with a girl that still has her penis.
Right.
Do you think that plays into anything that you're experiencing in your relationship
Yes.
life?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I feel like he feels a certain way even though he's not telling me.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like he's not trying hard enough. And I feel like he's trying to stop me, low key, to a certain extent. And it's always something, especially when it comes to this surgery. It's always something.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like even with other trans women, not even with me, men tend to only do things to a certain extent. Always. Like, they don't fully go hard for us. Like they would do a cis woman or cis female, whatever you want to call it. Like, I feel like it's always half step for us because I don't even feel, I love my boyfriend, but I don't feel like he takes me serious enough because he's always half stepping. But if it was me to a certain extent, like, he know I would be there, like, no matter what, even if I got fired from my job, like, I'm gonna be there for you.
I mean, that could just be men in general too, as well.
Yeah.
Half stepping and all that stuff.
Right.
I mean, shoot, gay dudes, we be single for far too long, and at least you got a man.
I mean, yeah, I do.
What do you look for in a guy?
I don't even look for looks. And for other trans women out here, do not pay, to me, like, don't just look at his looks. Look how he's gonna treat you. Is he gonna take care of you? Is he gonna love you? Is he scared to be out in public with you? Like, all of the things like that. Like, that's what I look for when it comes to a man, like his heart, his personality, all of that. Because my boyfriend has a wonderful personality. Like, if y'all was to meet him, like, he would have y'all cracking up. Like, he's silly as hell, but he just gotta get some things together. As well as I, because I'm a firecracker. I go 0 to 100 real quick.
We're going to keep the cameras rolling, but let's just get the wrap up as well, in case.
Okay.
So, surgery on what date?
January 13th, on my grandmother's Founder's Day, and she can't stand that. She was like, wait a minute, what day?
Which is in 7 days.
In 7 days.
You said you're not scared.
Mm-mm.
You're very excited. You found a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
You did what you're supposed to do with your hormones and everything. And the big moment is coming up.
Days
And
away.
we're going to let the world know how it goes. And I'm so honored and thankful for you sharing this experience with me.
Yeah.
And I just think that, in general, a lot of hate just comes from not understanding, you know.
Right.
So I appreciate you joining me on this platform and letting folks know how everything goes down.
Right.
Because you didn't have to do that, you know. And it's important that we find mentors and role models like yourself that can keep us grounded and humble and educated on what's going on in the world. Because this is the real world, people's lives and things, you know. And a lot of trans girls died for my rights to be here today. The Stonewall riots and the Compton cafeteria riots, which took place before the Stonewall riots, was all trans women giving me the platform that I have now. So I'm sure if they could see us from 30 years ago, I would love to be able to speak to them now, you know, and see how times have changed. So I'm very, very grateful. All right. Shout out to all the trans women that have lost their lives.
Yeah.
Stop murdering them. Stop killing them.
And please do not be scared. Always keep you some mace, a knife, whatever on you. Do not be scared to put your hands on a man out here. If he's disrespecting you and he's trying to get rowdy with you, you better tell him up. Don't be scared to let Trey know that you're not to be messed with.
Tell me who else is here again.
This is my mother. You can call her Miss Sheely.
My name's Snuggles.
Snuggles.
That's your mom.
That's my name, because everybody in Connecticut know me.
That's Snuggles.
Miss Snuggles.
All right, Miss Snuggles.
Thank you.
And my boyfriend Jamal.
Uh-huh.
We have the one and only Ephraim.
Oh, thank you.
And then Kalia is in the car.
Why it's important to have your support team with you through all this?
Because, for one, you're not allowed to travel by yourself. And for two, this is a very serious procedure and you cannot do it alone. And support will help you heal faster. And a positive mindset brings out positive outcomes.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
When you're dealing with the establishments and the doctors and things, you think they're treating you differently also because of your race? Because of your race?
Of course.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about your experience walking into the door of someone's office and how you're perceived.
I have a doctor for my hormones and stuff now. In Glastonbury. I walked in and it was like she was just looking at me like, and when I first came, I think it took her some time to get used to me. But like when I would call, she would have an attitude. I remember one day she hung up on me.
Oh, see, no.
And I asked her when I called back, I was like, why did you hang up on me? She was like, oh, I just didn't have time, honey. She was like, other people are on hold.
So you telling me you're at a professional business.
Right.
And whether or not people are waiting in line or not, you didn't even take the
Proper steps to be...
Say, well, listen, we have other calls right now. Can I put you on hold just momentarily? Because my line is backed up. You're not even supposed to do that. But she didn't even at least attempt to try and accommodate you. You know what
right
I'm saying?
on up.
That's terrible. And this
right
is
on
supposed
up.
to be someone in the medical field that's supposed to be protecting us.
And trained.
Trained, looking out for us.
And let me tell you what they do too. Our business, they let other people know too. And I know that for a fact because I've been around a girl back in Alabama who was a nurse and she was telling me everyone's business. And that goes against HIPAA law.
Now, this is no shade because I support all of please support our healthcare workers and please support our frontline workers and stuff. But we need to also have a discussion about discrimination within the healthcare field itself.
Oh, yes, God.
You know, because it's not all the milk and cookies that people are saying that it is.
Right.
I understand y'all saving lives and et cetera, but some people tend to use that as like an excuse to feel like they're better than others.
Right.
And no, if that's your job and you're getting paid to save lives, that's your job and that's what you get paid to do. So I understand that you might have gotten into the healthcare field because you do care about people, yes, and you do care about making the world a better place. But at the end of the day, sometimes I want to know, would you still be there if that check wasn't coming through on the regular?
Right.
And that's what people need to ask themselves. Would you still be here if that check was not coming through on the regular? I'm so grateful that the girls kind of educated me as soon as I hit the scene.
Right.
You know?
Right. Because you didn't know nothing about trans women.
Not even that, but when I date a lot of guys,
Excuse me.
they always say things to me that kind of turn me off.
About trans women?
They say like just nasty things in general, even about other gay men. I mean, yes, they say nasty things about trans women, but they always have something bad to say about lesbians or about gays.
And speaking of that, I was...
and it's just like, I can't really be with a person that I feel like is prejudiced.
Right. I was in a car with a group of... I was invited with my homegirl. She didn't let them know that I was trans, and that's what I like about her. She do not tell my business whatsoever. She's a stripper from Columbus, Georgia. Oh, Banji. I'm talking about real hood girl. Straight from the hood, honey.
Around the way, girl.
Around the way, girl.
All right, LL.
So, she was like, I want you to go out with my gay friends and meet them or whatever. And then, when I got in the car and stuff, we were just talking and we were vibing. And a tranny.
See, no, be yourself. It's your word to reclaim and use.
A T-girl, excuse me, because you said it earlier, so it's in my head. So a T-girl, she was walking in front of the car, like, you stop in front of a red light and somebody walks in front of your car. And they noticed it. They was like, ugh, I'm so sick of these trannies and all kind of bad words. And she's still a f***ing man. And I blurted out, I was like, y'all know I'm a T-girl, right? And they was like, word, bitch! Well, I was like, there ain't no word. Y'all just lay her out. So that's how y'all feel about me, too.
Okay. Get your bags. Morning. Okay. What is this ride?
It's a medical cab.
This is a what?
Medical cab.
Oh, a medical cab.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're going to take you all the way to Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
And how long is the drive?
Like 6 or 7 hours.
6 or 7 hours. All right.
Yeah. Ooh, man, that long? Yeah. In the car with you?
I'll send you a mix if y'all need some music.
Yeah, we need some music.
Okay. I'll send it to your phone in like 30 minutes.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Get one more hug yourself.
Bye, y'all. Thanks for everything. And I cannot wait for the after one.
Alright, love you.
See ya.
There she goes. Have a safe trip.
All right.
But them hoes want the police. Wave now so we can see you. Right. Bye. Welcome home, Ciara. Welcome home. Okay.
Here in the
You
blizzard.
came back and it's snowing.
This way.
This way.
Doing what needs to be done.
Okay.
We're here. Yes. Come on in. Thank you, thank you. Have to escort the girls.
Yes, you did. All these packages.
Woo!
Oh, shit.
You dropped something?
Oh, my earrings.
Right here.
Oh.
Thank you.
To a new person, yeah.
I couldn't think of.
It's so cute, y'all. It's gonna be so pretty. She did the damn thing on me. I guess she knew. I guess she said, well, this girl right here gonna get me hell. So let me just go ahead and hook her up. Because a lot of people were telling me not to go to her. And then I was reading her reviews. And it was one person she did. And like it completely fell off. Like it was just a hole down there. Like
The surgeon.
the surgeon.
Oh, okay.
But see, I said right when she came in, they hooked me up to the anesthesia. And I didn't feel like I was falling asleep, but like I felt a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And she came in, she was talking to me, and I remember telling her, I was like, look, do not botch me. I want something realistic. And she was like, I got you. She was like, it's going to look pretty. She was like, you're going to have a beautiful baby down there. And then after that, I woke up, and it was like, you will just roll the camera.
The camera been rolling, y'all.
There could be a blooper.
How was the music that I sent?
Oh, it was sweet jams to the city. I kind of felt like he didn't like the city girls, like, cause he started frowning. DJ Ephraim, shout out to the music. You had me and my mama jamming the whole way there. City, bop, bop.
Well, first off, I'm glad you're back here. You've arrived safely and soundly.
I like how you said I arrived.
Because, they like to kill the girls and murder the girls. And
Yeah, they like to carry on. But one thing about Cece, she's going to battle you. You're going to have a time of your life, huh?
The surgery was in January.
January the 13th.
And now we're in February 5th. So it's been about 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what's the first thing that ran through your mind before you hit the operating table?
Am I making a big mistake?
Gotcha.
This is exactly what I said.
Are you making a big mistake?
Yeah.
Did you?
No, I didn't. I'm actually glad that I went through it. Because everybody else is telling me not to do it. And I did something that most people are not brave to do.
Round of applause for that one. I'm glad. I think I'm just most proud of you because you're doing it for yourself, not for nobody else's happiness.
Right.
We gotta start doing stuff for us, no matter what everybody else's opinion is.
Right.
You took the opinions into consideration,
Right.
and you said, I'm doing this. And yes, you did a very brave thing, because I'm sure a lot of trans women are contemplating if that's the right move for them. And if it's not the right move, that's okay too.
If you're thinking about it out there, for all my beautiful trans women of color, white, it doesn't matter what color you are, do it. Just do it. Do it, child.
So I just gotta ask. When you got out of the hospital, you were saying how you were in so much pain.
Yes, I was in a lot of pain. It was like 2 grenade things, like, ugh, so irritating. You had to drain them like every 4 hours. And then
drain it of blood.
Yeah, drain the blood, and then the catheter. Like I just did not.
Well, for us slow people, what is that?
It's like where it's in your bladder, and then you pee in it, and like you have to drain it.
Okay.
And it was like irritating because when you move, like you felt it, and it was just like. Ugh.
Is that something you have to do permanently?
No, it's not in me now. So,
Oh, okay.
Because it'll be connected to me. She removed it like a week after surgery, and it hurt it. And then like the two grenade things at the top hurt it, and then like she pulled out a rope thing from like the little mannequin thing y'all see. Like to me, like it was a long ass rope inside of me, like packed.
So there's like
inside
a
of me.
cord inside of it?
Like a long piece of rope, like a white piece of rope.
But the purpose of this rope is to
keep your hole open.
Oh, okay.
And
so
as
that
soon
you
as
don't
she,
heal.
Yeah, and as soon as she takes it out, like she pushes the dilator in you for like, like 4 or 5 minutes, and she shows you how to dilate, and then she takes it out.
Now, as she's doing all this, do you feel it?
Yes.
But they have you on medication even while she's doing.
I mean, I had took my pain pills right before I went, and like my medicine to keep down infections, but I'm out of it now, so I guess I don't need it anymore. I haven't caught any infections or anything.
Okay, so on the scale of 1 to 10 between a migraine and losing your arm, how painful was it?
When I first woke up, the pain to me was like I would say like a 6, 7. But when I got in the hospital room, like as soon as they put me in my like hospital room where I was staying at, it was like I immediately.
But what type of pain does it feel like? Does it feel like you have a cut? Does it feel like someone's constantly pinching you? Does it feel like a muscle strain? Like, what is the type of the feeling of the pain itself? Does your whole leg hurt because it's just hurting there, or is it just hurting in that one area?
Like your whole bottom area, and then like, how can I explain?
Do you feel like your waist is hurting? Do you feel like anything else is? You know what I mean?
Like your body aches, your body. Yeah. Thank you. It penetrates your whole body. Like, they want you to move your legs around in the bed so you won't get blood clots and stuff.
And make sure you're stretching correctly and stuff.
It's like to me, it was like an irritating pain. Like, ugh. Like, I was irritated the whole time I was at the hospital. And then when I got to my hotel room, my caretaker was not the best caretaker.
So tell me about her.
My caretaker. You want me to be honest and stuff?
Yes,
Okay.
be honest.
My caretaker was my mom, and my mom battles a drug addiction.
Okay.
And she was not the best help. I brought her because she was my last option, or my surgery was going to be canceled. So
okay.
I didn't have no choice but to bring her. I was like, come on, like my boyfriend.
Now let's just rewind a little bit. The relationship with your mom, you were telling me, is just still kind of rocky anyway.
Yeah, it's like my own mother she's a lesbian, and she don't even accept me, and I'm a transgender woman. Like she don't accept me, and I don't understand why she don't accept me. Like that's why I feel like sometimes I'm so snappy and I'm so angry because I live with someone that birthed me and she doesn't accept me. We get into it all the time.
Right. So you're kind of under that constant stress.
Yeah, and it's like, it's so aggravating. It's like, girl, like, you can talk about women and blase, but if I tell you about my dreams and stuff, it's like you don't understand it and you don't want to understand it. And I don't understand why society never accepts trans women or even gay men for that fact, but they accept an openly gay woman. Like, I don't understand.
All I can really say for that, because everybody's parent is different and their situation going to be different, and everybody's mom and dad has different views and ideals and raised in different ways, you know what I mean?
I'm not drinking no liquor, by the way, y'all.
When I was at your house recording your leaving, I do remember your mother saying, oh, this is my daughter, so, you know, I have to still be there for her, you know what I mean? So even though y'all don't disagree, I mean, even though y'all disagree and are going through what you're going through, mom still knew that this is a life-changing procedure and the dangers of it, and hopefully for most parents that instinct is there to say that on some level I need to be there for my child. It may not be the level that the child needs or wants, but at some level be there for your child, you know. So
there was a possibility that I could have died on the table. Like, my doctor told me that when she came into the room, she was like, it is the possibility that you can die, like all of that, and it didn't make, I didn't get scared or anything. I was just like,
How do they present this information to you? Is it in a way that's like, that was professional?
yeah, it was very professional. She came in, she asked me, she was like, tell me your name and your date of birth. Like, everybody kept asking it to make sure it was me. Like, tell me your name, your date of birth, and stuff like that. And it was another doctor in there also assisting her. But I just said, I didn't really feel comfortable with him, so I asked him to leave. Like, I didn't feel his vibe.
Okay.
I guess that was her, like she was training him, like when she retired.
Oh, no, child, we don't have time to be training people during a procedure like that.
Like,
I mean, I get that you want to train people, but he should not be the main one navigating the surgery.
You know how, like, a law firm are taking an attorney or something? Not attorney, what do they call them? Internships?
Oh,
something
intern.
Like that? Yeah. So.
Yeah, I go on doctor's appointments where they're teaching the new girls about...
Yes, and he was there along with her, and it was like, I just wasn't feeling his vibe, and I was like, can you step outside and talk to her, please?
Hey, you the patient. So.
Right, and he did. He was like, okay, fine.
Of course, right. But it is good that they do have them come watch while they're actually doing it on a human.
Right.
But they don't need to be the main one.
The procedure was supposed to be like 5 to 6 hours. And she got done with me when she told me like 4.5 hours. She was like, you were excellent. She was like, we didn't have to stop. She was like, you didn't twitch. Because some people, she said, they twitch on the anesthesia and they have to stop to make sure you're completely asleep.
Oh, of course.
But she said,
ooh, they got a movie like that called Awake, where someone wasn't completely sleeping during their heart surgery.
And they feel everything.
And they was feeling shit.
Oh, my God.
The horror stories people have, be suing and all types of stuff.
Oh, I was there. I woke up and I was like, what in the world?
So between 3 weeks ago and now, how much pain are you feeling now? Still?
I feel it at night, y'all. Like, you know how an older person was like, oh, it's about to rain, my feet hurt, or something like that. Like, if you ever heard of that. So, like, this, I feel it, like, at night. Like, when it's, like, nightfall.
And you about to go to sleep?
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
that's the worst.
And then my nerves are reconnecting, and it's, like, little needles poking in my clitoris area. Like, ugh.
When you first viewed yourself in that state after the surgery,
I didn't like it at all.
Seeing that it wasn't healed and all that, did that freak you out and panic?
Yes, I was like, she botched me. I was like, Mama, look at it, it's so ugly.
Oh, you showed your mom?
Yes, she had to take care of me. She had to like pull my diaper down halfway where the pins are there.
So what is the caretaking process? What all do you need?
They have to wipe you, sponge baths, feed you, help you to the bathroom, change out your blood thingies, the 2 little grenade things that was like right there. My catheter thing, I usually would get up and walk around like back and forth from the door to the window just so my legs won't catch the blood clots and stuff, so I would empty the pee and stuff. But she had to like wipe me and stuff, put them on time.
They don't let you hire, or your insurance doesn't send their own nurse?
They didn't. My mom had to come with me.
Gotcha. Oh, wow.
And I'm kind of, you know what, she wasn't the best, but I'm glad that she did come, because I don't think my boyfriend could have went, like, because when I got home, like, he was scared to touch me, because he's a big guy. Y'all seen him, like, he's a big, tall guy, so.
I mean,
I don't think he would have been
most
able
folks
to
can't
do
even
that.
handle taking care of their own grandmother. Child, so, I mean,
Yeah.
we really have to get back in the sense of that generational bond. These young kids and youth out here are going to be the ones that are wiping our ass when we're in the old folks' homes and stuff. You know what I mean? So we need to be respectful of their thoughts and views. Young folks need to be respectful of our thoughts and views, and we need to come together more often and discuss what the senior living is like and caretaking industry is like. What's going on? Right now we're here with Ciara for her final take of everything going on. We have a team, Khalik, Sule Thompson, myself, and Alan Vega Photography. We're at the Goodwin Hotel, which is where all the celebrities in Connecticut used to check in at in the 90s. So we are celebrating and living very, very fancy today. This is the hotel room. It's very nice. It's even got wooden shower floors. Yeah, shower floors made of wood. It's a beautiful space. It's a nice day out, and we are about 1 week away from Transgender Day of Visibility, so I'm so excited. We have a pink backdrop, you know, so it's nice and professional, and she's just doing her thing.
They hating on us all throughout society, but this year, you know, I'm still just doing me. It's gonna be fierce, you know how I like to keep good energy. Ain't no shade, so what's the tea? Reserve a section for the ballroom scene. It's free entry if you're legendary. All icons to the front row seats, and drag queens in the VIP. You can call me RuPaul, cause you know I'm a supermodel. Yeah, that's right, I'm dressing nice. Yeah, that's right, I'm popping bottles. DJ play my favorite song, so you know it's fire. The venue gon' be packed, cause my face is on the flyer. Birthday, so do it your way. It's your birthday, so do it your way. This goes out to all my gays, cause you know we came to slay. Happy birthday to my gays, cause we turn up every day. They just don't know. Baby blue, all white, pretty and pink, that's right. I want hookahs, free drinks for my tea girls all night.
Oh, let's do our toast.
Child, with your drink and my cranberry.
Right, so what's the dieting situation? Because you said you didn't want to have a alcohol drink because, you know.
Right, because I'm scared it's going to burn my cootie cat.
Right.
So, like, when I use the bathroom, like, I don't
Right.
know.
But this is 3 weeks. How long did they say it actually takes you to fully recover?
It's going to, she told me, like, a year to 7 months.
7 months to a year?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
I said it backwards, but y'all know.
That's okay. Right. 7 months to a year. Whew, that's life-changing. So you can't really have anyone dabble down there yet until...
She told me I can't have, like, sexual...
Intimacy.
Yeah, like 3 months, but I think that's too early. Like, to me, it's not going to even be looking good. And not really. It probably start just about like, oh, okay, girl, she did a good job. Like, I see you. But it's not going to... Wait till you just fully heal.
I wouldn't either, just because you don't want them to get messed up.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I want to...
Even fully healed, give it an extra little mop.
I may let my boyfriend nibble a little. I may let him nibble a little.
That's right. Oh, okay. So you better get that thing in there now, nice and deep, so you can take the good kind of.
He ain't gonna do none of that, but you know, he been doing a little licky.
You might gotta get a little more than 3 inches up in there, child. You gotta get a little more.
No, that's more than 3. Like the 3
get
inches, like I think 4 to 5, and the 4 inch to 5 inch is like 6 to 7 inch. So
Oh, okay.
I got a little something, but I'm gonna get it all the way in. I'm gonna get it all the way in there.
Okay.
Trust and believe.
I'm not messing with y'all. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
What was it like the first time, like going to the bathroom?
Oh my God! Like it was an adorable moment. Like my mom was in the bathroom brushing her teeth, and I was like, "Mom, I gotta pee." And then I sat out and I hurried up and pee, and she was just standing there looking in the mirror, brushing her teeth. I was like, "I go pee, mommy."
Oh,
I was
okay.
like, "Mom, I'm peeing."
Does it feel different using the restroom now?
Yes, it feels so different. Like, cause it comes out like up at the top, and then like. You have to like sit. You have to just sit a certain way, and then like it shoots out like it's squirting.
So now let's get into the restroom situation. Did you ever have problems with that in the past, using the restroom you identify with?
I mean, no, not necessarily, but it was one female that clocked when I came into the bathroom. She was like, "Oh, but you real pretty, dog." She was like, "You are so pretty," and I was like, "What are you talking about?" She was like, "I got I got a cousin like you. I was like, what are you talking about? And I always carry pads on me regardless. Like, and I was like, I pulled out a pad. I was like, child, I was like, I got kids. Like, I played it off. Lying like hell. I was like, child, I got kids. Like, she was like, you must be from Atlanta or something. And she was like, it's something particular about you. I was like, is it? She was like, you're just so pretty. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, you don't care if I speak freely about how we met,
Go
right?
ahead.
Well, I was working at Walgreens when
Yeah.
you used to come in, okay, and I was like, okay, she got the little accent and everything like that, but I didn't suspect that you were trans.
You didn't.
No, not then.
Real
However, when we used to start riding the bus together,
You figured that.
that's when I figured. Well, that's when I made the assumption,
Yeah.
of course, because you can't just go out assuming things about people you don't know is true.
Right.
But I made the assumption only more so because I'm in the actual community,
Right.
so we can kind of pick up on more things, like in our language use.
Yeah, when I was talking to you.
When you were talking to me, that's what more so confirmed it rather than just me looking at you.
Okay.
Because it was, when you talk and you get comfortable, you say.
Yeah, I thought you knew though. That's
That's when I was like, oh, okay, let me invite her out to certain things and events and
Yeah.
places. But it wasn't any type of shade. It was just more like, no one uses those terminology, those words, or sometimes are slang, and and things like that, unless they're either very much close to the
Right.
community or in it. You
Oh,
know
baby,
what I
I'm
mean?
in it.
Right.
I'm in it.
But you had such amazing energy. You were so
Oh,
very
yeah.
vibrant.
Yeah.
Of course, you weren't from here, so. The girls from Connecticut could be shady now.
Oh, they
so-
were cool child.
But people say that about any place they go. They feel like, oh, you're not
I
from
don't
here.
think
You're
there's some
so
places
nice.
where I felt welcome.
But when we met, you didn't have a boyfriend. A consistent boyfriend.
Me and Jamal.
Your answer depends on what
Me
I'm
and
gonna say
Jamal.
next.
What,
That's why.
what year was it?
I don't know
I
what
don't
year.
think I did. I don't know why you did that. They seen you with your tall
I'm
self.
gonna edit.
Okay.
I don't think you had a boyfriend.
I don't think so.
Oh, right. Because after we got off the bus that day, that's when I saw you on some of the online social media platforms. And I was like, oh, so she is part of the community.
Wait a minute. Where?
But this was like 2 years ago, wasn't it?
Hey, what platform was that?
It was one of the dating platforms. And I was like, oh, that's the girl from Walmart. I mean, Walmart. From when I see from in Walgreens doing her little shopping, child.
You know the real short one? Oh, never mind. We ain't gonna say that because that may cloud and go back and tell. You just gonna push on
I was like, oh, okay. Were you going by a different name before?
No, my name's always been Ciara.
Oh, okay. Was it the city part that was changed?
No, I always been City Girl. As soon as they came out.
Oh, okay. So your official name now is voila.
It's Ciara Ta-Halor, TAHALOR, Sheely, SHEALEY.
Oh, child, I'm gonna need a whole dictionary. Say that again.
Ciara Ta-Halor.
Oh, Ta-Halor.
Ta-Halor.
Okay. We canned it.
TAHALOR.
Did we talk about this before? You had your ID changed? Did your ID change?
Yeah.
No, right?
Yes, God.
Oh, okay, right. What was the process, even the name change too?
Name change already.
What's the process that they make you go through?
Therapists, and they write you a letter and stuff.
You had to see a therapist to get your name changed?
Yeah, and they write you a letter and stuff. And then you go see
Wait.
you go to the townhouse.
Would you have to see a therapist if your name was changing from one boy name to another boy name?
No, not necessarily. And then you go to the townhouse, the clerk office or whatever the office is, and you fill out a paper or whatever. They set you up an appointment with a lawyer. And then, you go into this, corporate office, and he asks you questions, asks you your old name, when's your birthday.
Okay. I have a few questions with the name thing.
Yeah, keep
Not
going.
for us, but for society. Because, okay, so if a girl's whoever their gender is, whatever their gender is, first off, let's say Jessica wants to change her name to Ryan. Okay. Does she have to see a therapist for that? Even if she's a cisgender woman, just changing her name to Ryan, she's not going to change her gender.
Oh, okay, right. Oh, no, I don't think so. But if you're transgender, they make you see a therapist. They make you see a therapist for hormones.
So you're basically saying when you go in for a name change, they're asking why you're changing your name? And if one of the reasons why is that you're going to be transgendering your gender, or changing your gender, they want you to see a therapist. But if you're just going to change your name for the sake of whatever reason, they don't want you to see a therapist.
No, not necessarily. Like if you're not trying to take the proper steps to become a different gender, with the opposite gender, then no. But
I feel like that's kind of shady, but anyway. You want to add to that?
No, I was just wondering, was that whole thing for the name change or the gender change?
You're right. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Was the
you know what I mean? Because like sometimes like when you do the name change, it may be a process, but it's like you have to probably get something signed by someone. But then the gender is more involved because I know people who have had it done and they have to
go through
do all of that.
Right, you both. You have
for
to
both.
You have to both. Yeah.
Dang, so if I just want to be David tomorrow,
hey, it goes right on to the town.
why I gotta see a therapist for that?
Right. Just go on to the town and tell
I mean, people change their name for other reasons than their gender identity. You know what I mean? So I find that odd that you would need therapy and things, you know, for something like that. So I'm gonna put all her social media on how y'all can send funds and send coins.
Okay. Yes, guys, send me a
Right.
good old
Support
coin.
trans women of color and all those things. Do you feel like so wait, did he I'm trying to be all in the man's business.
Go ahead.
Well, what was his, because we talked about this briefly. What was the tea on, the boys want the girls with the peen, the chicks with the dicks and the fetishization and stuff. So now that you're not about all that and have all that going on down there,
right?
Has his behavior changed at all?
Yes, he's so sweet. Like we got into it a couple of times, but for the most part, like he's so sweet. He's gentle with me. Like he just bought me a Gucci bag. Like yes, God, he's spoiling the shit out of me. Like he's so sweet. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's sweet.
Okay.
He's very sweet.
All right. Well, share the wealth, child, when you get a chance.
Okay. he's being like so sweet. Like he got a good ass job. Like my boyfriend got a good job.
That's good. And supporting you all the way fully.
He is. Like we looking for our own place now. So.
What is his family like? Do they know
his
about
mom
his dating?
Yeah, she knows
situation?
I'm trans and stuff.
Okay.
Like, and you just crazy part about it, like she knew right away. She was just waiting on him to say it. Like, but she was rude at first. Like, she really didn't know how to take me. Like, they would have like family dinners and stuff, and she would let the other son girlfriend come over, but wouldn't invite me and stuff like that.
Like, guess who's coming to dinner type shit.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I went to dinner a couple of times, but the times I went to dinner, it was just like she threw shade. Like, girl, I read between the lines. Like, you don't know how to take it. But this Christmas, she bought me a Christmas gift. Like, she's coming around.
I wonder what it is where it's like they hate you so much at first, then they love you to death. Like, I don't understand
that. It's just a woman's nature, child.
Well, first off, I can't say everybody, but usually any woman that comes over, there's that, who are you? What are you about? That whole attitude, all that. Then you add trans on top of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So then you're getting that extra, transphobic thing going on, homophobic thing going on. And then I feel like they got to get through all these shitty other women before they realize, like, it's time to appreciate what's on the inside, the person on the inside, the good deeds and good qualities of that person. And then they just love you to death, and you're just like, I've been this way since we met, but all right. Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, look at you out here making a difference and making a change. Do you think you'll still be doing adult entertainment or sex work?
That's over with for that. That chapter's closed. My goals for 2021 is to get into lash school. I want to start my own business. I want to continue my modeling career, and I want to start rapping. As far as like sex working, all my trans sisters out there, I support you. Get that money, regardless of the situation, but not for CC, baby. This over with.
What's next on your to-do list?
The next on my list is my boobs. I wanted to get the hard part out of the way first, because it's a lot of pain. So, boobs, like, I've known girls to be, like, right up the same day, smoking a blunt, talking, laughing, giggling. So, boobs is really not that.
I know we're going to do the photo shoot.
Of course, I can't wait. Ooh, I can't wait on that. You know, I love to be in front of the camera.
Get up, let's move it. Don't talk about it, let's prove it. I'm talking charities. Show the world the best of me. Okay, let's learn our history. Oh, yeah. Art and creativity. It's Pride Month. Pride Month. Hey yo, register people to vote. Go vote. Decorate our own float. Let's go. Design our own signs. I got mine. We're gonna march in big lines. That's right. We're gonna raise the roof for this town. Real loud. With all the different pronouns. Get wild. It's Pride Month. Pride Month. Hey yo. Let's celebrate. It's a gay parade. Let's celebrate. It's a gay parade. Let's celebrate. It's a gay parade. It's Pride Month. Pride Month. Let's go.
I'm so glad I met you.
Oh.
I'm so glad I met you. Like,
thank
you're
you.
so sweet. You're so lovable. You love trans women. You respect trans women.
Oh,
Thank
you
you
gonna
so
make me
much.
cry.
Come
Stop.
here.
Why is the aesthetic important for you?
The reason why I go so hard for my transition and to look a particular way is because I didn't feel like, I don't like looking at the old me. Like, if I even see it, like, it makes me feel uncomfortable. Like, and then, like, my family, like, not wanting me to be around and, like, being teased in school and me just wanting to be me. Like, because I remember when I was, like, in the 10th grade, I went to school with, like, a green and black quick weave, like, with spikes everywhere, like, child. And, like, I got teased so bad, like, I knew that I was going to be a glamorous girly girl and, like, I couldn't be myself. So now that I am grown and I can be myself and I have the right to be myself, I'm going to do it.
You want to express that outwardly.
Right, I want to express myself like, this is me. Like, I'm going to be me regardless. Like, like, my family put me through hell. Like, I remember one time my family went to Thanksgiving dinner with another family in Florida and left me. Like, I woke up and, like, they left me. Like, I couldn't even be myself. Like, y'all so scared that I'm going to dress like a girl, so y'all left me. Because y'all are embarrassed. So,
Right.
bump that, child. I am who I am. You don't like it. It is what
Hello.
it is. You'll be all right.
Yup. You don't mind if I show them the boy pictures you sent me? Okay.
Like, y'all gonna gag.